thank NDSU Extension and Greg and Hans for organizing this effort for bean farmers. My name is Mitch Coulter. I'm the Executive Director for Northarvest Bean Growers Association. And I've been here since September of 2020. Just want to kind of give everyone an overview of what the board is up to and kind of where their investments are. The first area of investment is farm research. That's our largest area. We're usually, this past year, we're in the 22% range, but budget year in, year out, we're in that 20 to 25% budget space. We do work around nutrition. We do promotion of beans. We have a trade and domestic market development team. And we also focus on sponsorships, education, and communication. Each of those are kind of in that 10 to 15% range of our budget space. Extension is a really important partnership with us. It's kind of where we can get our knowledge base out to our farmers. And so again, thanks to NDSU Extension here for trying to put together programs that reach our farmers. In June of 2022, coming up here, we will be planning a new 5-year strategic plan. Board will come together for a couple days to kind of put together what our future plan looks like as far as activity. I did want to just give kind of a lay of the land for where we've been up till current. And North Dakota did see about 155,000 less acres of dry beans planted in 2021 versus 2020. A lot of factors in that, but really conventional crops hit a good market stroke about planting season last year. And so, of course, they have a little bit more tools to make it more accessible to grow those beans. And so we did lose a few acres. It's not too terrible. Minnesota did see a 35,000 less acres in dry beans in 2021 versus 2020. The chart on the right in the red shows the crops that lost some acres versus the crops that increased acreage last year. USDA finalized the North Dakota dry bean crop. Crop average was 1,030 pounds per acre. That's down about 600 pounds per acre from the 2020 crop. Keep in mind, 2020 was the largest crop ever in North Dakota and Minnesota. So 600 pounds per acre still was a hit, and the drought really affected us in North Dakota especially. Production was about 6,397,000 hundredweight. That's about off 50% from 2020. So the drought really did have a strong effect on the North Dakota side. Minnesota numbers finalized as 1,960 pounds per acre. It's down about 140 pounds per acre from 2020. And the production was 4,596,000 hundredweight. That's off about 17% from 2020. I want to touch on carryover stocks and just give everybody an idea as you're going into planting season here and you're looking at, you know, where our price is going to be, what is the carryover stocks. We're really in pretty good shape. I just looked back over the past 5 years here in North Dakota, and this is taken at the end of December of each year, and we're right in line with where we should be as far as stocks being depleted at a proper pace and keeping good, strong prices for our farmers. So we're in pretty good shape on the North Dakota side. Minnesota Department of Ag expects a small carryover on dark red kidney beans and navy beans. A lot of this is due to transportation logistics. It's been our biggest deterrent in getting beans to move. We know from talking to the processors that a container cost right now can eat about 1/3 of the profit of a shipment of beans. So really the logistics is hurting us in movement of our market right now. Trade tariffs in key markets have been a deterrent. We're seeing slow changes in trade restrictions, and key competitors have weather-related hurdles that seem to be good opportunities for the U.S. coming up here soon. So we're hoping that log jam will move. So what are the opportunities for the bean business? COVID-19 has heightened the interest in human health, paving the way for trends like plant-based diets and proteins. We see a lot of promise in the burgeoning ingredient market, kind of another opportunity for dry beans. Sustainability is becoming a driving factor in world markets, and dry edible beans fits as one of the most sustainable crops grown commercially today. Dry beans are a great rotational crop. They work really well in the Northarvest region with sugar beets. They like drier feet, and it works really well in that rotation with sugar beets. Input costs are extremely high for conventional crops, which could mean more acres in dry beans for 2022. We do suspect that Northarvest base acres will remain competitive just due to the pricing and bean classes right now. Our bean dealers are providing good, strong price offers, and so we would expect at least base acres to hold. Carryover inventory is in line with a normal year, and we did talk about the carryover stocks, which would support strong prices for farmers. Here's a picture of our board of directors that was taken in November. Just want to give kind of an idea of some of the work that they are doing today. We'll start with the dry bean health research program. They've invested $685,000 in awards. This is a partnership with the National Institute of Health and the USDA. Every year we provide seed funds to get health-related research for dry beans. The return on investment is $10.2 million in federally funded grants through this program. 2021, we did support 3 projects: Dr. Widdison, Dr. Lucas, and Dr. Zavalos. We hope to see those get picked up by a National Institute of Health. We do have regional and national promotions. The committees that are in charge of that have the Culinary Institute, national regional promotions, and a scholarship program. The Culinary Institute really focuses on K through 12 and university food programs for us. Of course, the National School Lunch Program is extremely large, and you want to be able to be part of that program. 30 million students eat daily off of that program. We work with nutritional professionals. We're trying to reach out through food policy and plant-based proteins. Some of the conferences and summits that we're participating in through the Culinary Institute is the Flavor Summit, and we're focusing on the hospitality industry. A lot of chefs at that show. Menus of Change, where we're working with university campus dining professionals and trying to get inclusion of dry beans. We have the Healthy Kids Collaborative, which is a school lunch program. Last year, Leanne Schaefer did Meet a Bean Farmer, went over really well. Healthy Kitchens, Healthy Lives, that's kind of international healthcare professionals that are looking at how can nutrition research work with culinary health. And then we have the Global Plant Forward Culinary Summit, and that's focusing on plant-based proteins and meals with inclusion of dry beans for food service professionals. From a promotion standpoint, of course, we have the Bean Institute. It's a website that's very consumer focused and positioning. It is kind of effectively the Wikipedia of dry bean. We had over 400,000 visitors to the Bean Institute on our social media platform a year ago. It's an enormous following. Some other programs that we have a contract dietitian named Casey Westrich. She does food demonstrations, and she participates in the child and adult care food program, where we see about 2,000 attendees. It's focused on child care centers and after school programs. We have the Food and Nutrition Conference. It's about 10,000 attendees. And then we participate in the School Nutrition Association National Conference, where they get up to 50,000 members to attend. We've also developed a fun coloring book app. This app, we try to get in Ag in the Classroom and other school age programs, and it's just to show kind of a fun way to tie beans into their everyday lives. We offer a scholarship program where we give 2 $1,000 scholarships. Last year's winners were Justice Moser from Morris, Minnesota, and Andrew Johnson from Park River, North Dakota. Be on the lookout for 2022. We're going to change that program up a little bit, so maybe some enhancements on the way. Talk about research. This is our largest budget area. Of course, in 2021, we funded 13 projects. Currently, we're considering 19 proposals. This is mostly field research and research that helps our farmers on their farms. What focus was on drainage and fungicide treatments. We have the breeding program with Juana Sorno, where in 2022, we released a new navy bean called ND Polar. Be on the lookout for information on that. Cover crops, weed management, white mold management, establishment factors that Greg talked about today, soybean cyst nematode, we do our health research, and then the grower surveys. We really want to make sure everyone participates in that. That data feeds our research program. And so very important to get a copy of the published report from a farmer standpoint, but also participating in that. We encourage growers to also use the dry bean crop production booklet. On a communication standpoint, we work with Red River Farm Network, where we publish 5 issues of the Northarvest Bean Grower magazine annually. We have a weekly radio segment called the Dry Bean Scene, and a weekly e-newsletter that anyone can subscribe to keep up with the dry bean world. Market development, we have a partnership with the U.S. Dry Bean Council. We have two representatives or delegates that sit on that board. It's Kevin Reagan with Webster, North Dakota, and Roger Carradine from Cavalier. We also work with the USDA AMS on Section 32 food assistance programs, both for schools and for third world nations purchases of beans. We also have entered into the RAMP reciprocity program with the North Dakota Trade Office in 2022, where we're going to see more reverse trade missions. Also, this past year, the Minnesota Trade Office and President Eric Samuelson from Northarvest traveled with Governor Tim Walz to the United Kingdom and Finland to talk about trade tariffs. Since that meeting, we've seen the European Union remove the dry bean tariff of 25%, and we're getting pretty close. We got intel saying the United Kingdom is on the way of movement on that front as well. Any questions? Please feel free to let me know.